peeps, welcome to my channel. I'm Maria, aka Agape Love Girl. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm going to be doing 3 looks using 3 different Warrior Glitter shadows from Flower Beauty. I have 3 here. I purchased these myself. I think these are absolutely beautiful. I don't feel like I hear a lot of people talking about them, and so I just thought I would create a few looks using them so that if you have them you can have a little bit of inspiration with using them, or if you have not heard of them. These are, I feel like a little bit on the expensive side for being drugstore. These are $10 each. I feel like it's still a better price than, say, something similar to it would be the Stila Glitter and Glow shadows, and that's basically kind of what these are if you have not heard of them. They're liquid glitter shadows, and they are just really, really beautiful, and I just feel like they are definitely worth a little bit more mention. So I'm going to create 3 different looks to share with you using each of the 3 glitters that I have. Now for this first look, I'm going to be featuring the shade Flame, which is so beautiful. As you can tell, it is like this orangey coppery shade, but it does have this iridescent glitter in there that kind of looks like it shifts a little bit, kind of green and orange and copper. It's just so beautiful. And this first look is going to be a very kind of, I don't know, you might think a very basic typical beauty guru look, because it's going to be a very warm look, but I wore this actually just yesterday and I got so many compliments on it. Like, several people asked me if I was wearing contacts. Even my husband, he was like, "Are you wearing contacts?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not." I think there's just something about this color combination and this just sparkle glitter that just looks really beautiful against my eyes. I have hazel eyes that are a lean green, but certain shadows I wear make them look a little bit more green and just really make them pop. But I think if you have green eyes or hazel eyes or even blue eyes, this look is going to be stunning on you. Anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. Now I'm going to be using the Alamar Cosmetics Reina del Caribe palette, and I'm going to start off first with the shade Cocoa Taxi, and I'm going to be using a big fluffy blending brush. The brush I'm going to be using is the Smith 232, but you can use any fluffy blending brush that you want. I'm going to be placing that shade right into the crease of my eyes, kind of smoking it up a little bit, but of course blend and smoke out your shadows to the extent that you feel the most comfortable doing. Alright, now I'm going to be going into the shade Tropico, and I'm going to be using a slightly smaller blending brush. This is the Smith 230 brush, and I'm going to be taking that shade into my crease just a little bit lower than I placed Cocoa Taxi. Once I've worked that into my crease, I'm also going to bring it down onto my lid as well. Alright, now that I have those 2 colors placed down, I'm going to go back in with that larger blending brush, the Smith 232, just to blend a little bit more, just to kind of mix and diffuse those colors together. Alright, now going back with the Smith 230 brush, the smaller blending brush, and into the shade Guantanamera, I'm going to be applying that to the inner and outer corners of my eyelid. This is going to be kind of a halo eye type of look, so basically that's what we're doing. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and go in with the Warrior Glitter Shadow. Like I said, I'm going to be using the shade of Flame. It is so beautiful. I'm going to be inserting some close-ups of the tubes just so you guys can hopefully get a glimpse of just how pretty this shadow is. And this does have a very nice kind of like pointed doe foot applicator that you can apply right to your lids. And I am going to do that, but I'm also going to be using a brush to help apply and kind of spread this around. And so the brush I'm going to be using is the Royal & Langnickel BX80. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and take the doe foot applicator, apply it right to my lid. We're going to keep this shade more in the center of my lid. So like I said, it's going to be a halo or spotlight eye. And then I will take that brush and just kind of help to spread and diffuse the color around. And I am going to actually be doing a couple layers of this. I'm going to let it dry a little bit and then apply another layer just to kind of build it up. These are a little bit sheer, but I like that. I like that you can kind of build up the pigmentation and intensity as you want. And I guess it's a little bit more sheer because I am kind of brushing it out with a brush. I think you'll probably get a little bit more pigmentation if you just apply it straight to your lid with the doe foot applicator, but I want to kind of build it up how I want, you know what I mean? So do it however you see fit. This is just what I'm doing. I'm gonna do a winged liner because that's actually what I wore yesterday as well, and I've just been really into winged liners, especially since I have this stamp liner that makes it so much easier. But what I'm gonna be doing is using the Ciate London Stamp and Drag Liner to create my winged liner. I'm going to move on to the lower lash line. This is going to be very simple. I'm just going to go ahead and take this tiny brush with the shade Guantanamera and placing that really tight to my lower lash line. And then I'm going to go ahead and take one of the blending brushes I use, the smaller one, into the shade Coca Taxi and just smoke it out. So very, very simple, but that's what I'm going to go ahead and do real quick. Alright, and that is it for the eyes. I'm going to go ahead and do my face off camera. Alright, now with my face done, I am going to go ahead and do highlight and mascara here with you on camera. For highlight, I'm just going to go ahead and use the shade La Costa in the palette because that shade is actually stunning for highlights. Alright, and then moving on to mascara, I'm going to be using two mascaras. Actually, I'm going to be using the CoverGirl Lash Blast Active mascara for my lower lash line. Because this is like a waterproof formula, I really have been enjoying it for my lower lashes, and I really love the wand for it. It really separates and does a really good job coating every lash. And then for my upper lashes, I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Voluminous Curved Wand brush, and then additionally I'm going to also go back over it with the CoverGirl Lash Blast because, like I said before, when I first tested out this mascara, it's a really great companion mascara. So it pairs really well with another mascara that gives a lot of volume, and this helps to kind of separate and give length and stuff like that. Alright, and here are the eyes up close. I love this look. I love these colors. I just, like I said earlier, I just love the way they make the green in my eyes just pop. Such a pretty look. Yes, it's very, very simple, but I love that. I love that it's simple and easy to do, and you guys should be able to easily recreate it. So I really hope you guys enjoy this look. And just really quickly to finish off this look, I did go ahead and pop on a gloss. It's a very sheer gloss with just like a little touch of color. This is the City Lips lip plumping lip gloss in the shade Nude York. Just, you know, you guys know I love these glosses and I love just glosses in general. But anyways, this is the completed look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this first look. And oh my goodness, look at this highlight poppin'. I love that shade for highlight on the face. What do you guys think? Didn't you guys love this eye look? Anyways, I'm not going to ramble on and on. Let's go ahead and move on to the second look. Alright, beauty, so this next look is going to be very simple. As you can see, I already do have part of the look already done, and truth be told, if you liked the first tutorial and you had the palette that I used in the first tutorial, the Alamar Cosmetics palette, you can actually absolutely use that same palette for this look as well. But I'm actually using different shadows. I'm using some single shadows from NBA Cosmetics that you will see. I do use this green one, which I know the Alamar palette does not have a green, but that's kind of just a little bit of a base shade, so you can definitely also use a brown instead from the Alamar palette. You know, just use whatever you have. I just thought the green would make a nice little base, but when it blends in with the orange, it kind of shifts and turns a little bit brown anyway, so it's not a huge difference. So just go ahead and use whatever you have on hand. And then additionally, as you can see, I do already have my face done, and I do already have some concealer on my lid. I kind of just use that as a little bit of a prep for my you know, base, and I just use the ColourPop No Filter concealer. But again, use whatever you have, any kind of primer you guys like to use, and just go into it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so I'm going to start off first with a big fluffy brush. This is the Stilazzi Large Fluff, and I'm going to take it into the NBA Cosmetics Pressed Matte Shadow in the shade In the Nude, just to kind of lightly set all over my lid and set that concealer. Next, we're going in hot. I'm going to go right into the NBA Cosmetics Matte Shadow in the shade Tiger Lily, which is a bright orange shade, with a round blending brush. I'm going to be using the Morphe M518. And of course, take that into the crease and transition of my eye. As you can tell already, I'm keeping this more of a rounded eye look. Alright, with that color laid down, I'm going to go right into the NBA Cosmetics Pressed Matte Shadow in the shade Spanish Moss. And I'm going to be taking that on a very, very small blending brush. I'm using the Stilazzi Mini Crease Fluff, the L217, and I'm going to be taking that just below the Tiger Lily shade into my crease and blending it, and I'm going to be blending it downwards. I'm also going to apply this all over my lid. Now I'm starting slowly just because these two shadows, when they mix, they will create kind of a brown shade, so I just want to go slowly. I don't want it to get too muddy, too messy, so I am placing it best I can, precisely, and to kind of create a nice blend, a nice gradient. Alright, moving on quickly, we are going to go in with the Warrior Glitter Shadow. This is the shade Camo. It is so pretty. It's the one I've used probably the most out of all the three that I have. I just find personally that it's very wearable. I know maybe not everybody feels comfortable wearing green, but I think green is so beautiful. I've used this as a wing liner addition, and just on my lid, and just it's so pretty. But it's just exactly like the name suggests, a kind of camo green, just a very beautiful army green. Has a little bit what looks like maybe goldy or silvery type flecks, but very subtle. For the most part, this is just a very beautiful green, camo green metallic shade. So anyways, you can definitely apply this straight to the lid, because I am putting this pretty much all over the majority of my lid, and you can use the doe foot applicator, but I just find that I like the application of this product with a small brush. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to be using the Morphe M170-6, which is just a flat, I think it's just a lip brush, but it's just a flat, small brush that gives me some precision. And I'm just gonna start patting and placing it all over my lid. And as I get closer to like my crease and transition area, I'm just gonna start feathering it out gently so it has a nice, you know, soft gradient. There's no harsh lines or anything like that. All right, now I'm going to go back into that Tiger Lily shade and just gently run that across my lower lash line using this Morphe M507 brush. All right, and then next I do want a little bit of that sparkle down on my lower lash line too. I'm not quite sure how this is going to look, but we shall see. I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing that I did with my eyelid and take it on that little brush and just very carefully run that along my lower lash line. Kind of want it to soften up and kind of smoke out just a touch, but I don't want it too much. So I think I'm just going to try to very carefully take this brush that I used with Spanish moss and just carefully run it just to soften it up. I don't want a harsh line at all. Take a little bit of the product. Really what I want to do, and I'm not sure if you can tell, is just get some of that glitter on its own. Not necessarily the green color, but just the little flecks to kind of come down. And it kind of is, just by kind of running it back and forth. Okay, yeah, I like the way that looks. All right, next up, I'm going to add a little bit of highlight to my inner corner and a brow bone. For that, I'm going to be using the NBA Cosmetics Silk Effects Pressed Shadow in the shade Vanilla Pearl. I'm going to be applying that with a Beauty Junkies pencil brush. And then I'm going to go ahead and run the Pixie Beauty in the Silky Eye Pen in the shade Graphic Greige into my waterline. Alright, and that is pretty much it for the eyeshadows and the eyeshadow look. I'm going to go ahead and do my brows off camera to save some time and then put on some mascara. I'm considering falsies, but I'm not quite sure at this point. I'll see what it looks like after I put on mascara and how I feel. But anyways, I'm going to do that and then I'll pop back in to show you guys the completed look. Alright, so this is the completed look. I did go ahead and throw on some lashes. I'm just in the mood for some lashes. And of course, I used my favorites, the Pure Cosmetics Bombshell lashes. And then for lips, I just really was thinking a bold red lip would pair really well with this green. So I did go ahead and line my lips with the MAC lip pencil in the shade Cherry. And then for lipstick, I'm using the Urban Decay Vice lipstick in the shade Love Drunk. Such a gorgeous red. Ooh, I feel fierce. And that's it. This is the look, a very, very simple look, but I love the way it turned out. And I just really love this shade of green. Don't you think it's so pretty? I'd love to know what you think of it. But anyways, with all that, let's go ahead and move on to the last tutorial. I am so excited to finally be on the last tutorial for this video. Let me just tell you guys, I started this video, these 3 tutorials, in the beginning of January. And so many other videos, looks, tutorials, palette reviews and things like that took precedence over this video. There was like the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette, the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette, the Urban Decay Game of Thrones palette. I did a makeup swap video with a friend Carol, and I knew I was going to do an eyeshadow look for that. I did a one palette, 2 looks with the Jaclyn Hill Dark Magic palette as a collab with Sparkle Me Pink Michelle Marino, and just so many other looks and videos and stuff has come before this that I just kept putting these videos off. And I just sigh of relief that I'm finally able to do the last look for this video and be able to hopefully post this soon. Yeah, so yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. For this last look, I'm going to be using the Slush palette from September Rose, and hopefully you guys like this look, and hopefully you guys like this video since it took me so long to put together. Alright, so I do have my eyes slightly quote-unquote primed with a little bit of concealer. And I'm going to be going first into the shade Banana with the Beauty Junkies Pro Blending Brush. I'm going to start off by patting that color down on the outer corners of my eyes and gently sweeping and blending it outwards to create a kind of cat eye winged out effect. I will also probably sweep a little bit of this into my crease and transition area as well. Alright, now I'm going to be going into the shade Tiger's Blood with a very small blending brush. I'm going to be using the Stilazzi Mini Crease Fluff, the L217. And I'm just going to be going and blending this over where I placed Banana down, but just slightly lower. What I'm trying to do is create a kind of gradient and ombre effect, also kind of a sunset-like effect to the eyes. So I'm really just going to be repeating what I did with that yellow banana shade, just slowly blending it in. And again, like I said, just creating that kind of gradient effect. I'm going to go back in with that same exact brush, and I'm going to be using the shade Black Currant, and again just following that same thing I've been doing. We're just going to bring this the same pattern, just a little bit lower. I will also bring that shade onto the outer third of my lid as well. Alright, here's where we're going to have a little bit of fun. I'm going to be going into the shade Blue Lagoon on a Royal & Langnickel BX80 brush and sweeping that onto my lid. Oh, this color is so gorgeous. It applies so beautifully. This palette really is so beautiful. I've only used this palette once on my channel, but I have used it quite a bit in real life, and it's such a beautiful palette. Just so versatile. Such good quality. And I was really glad to bring it out for this look because it definitely deserves some more love on my channel here. Alright, so here's what my eyes are looking like so far, and now it's time to go in with the Flower Beauty Glitter. Now this is the shade Poison. This is such a stunning shade. What called me in or pulled me into it was the purple in it, but it really does have a lot of blue in it as well. It's kind of like a duochrome looking purple, so it It looks blue or purple depending on how you kind of look at it, and it's just really, really pretty, but it's also kind of an intimidating color for me to wear. So that's why I decided to focus the glitter for this look on more so the outer corners of my eyes. So that's actually what I'm going to be doing with it. I'm going to be taking a very small flat synthetic brush. This is from Morphe. It's the M170-6, and what I'm going to do is just grab some of the glitter right off of the applicator. It does have a doe foot applicator, and I'm just going to be placing that down right on the more so outer corner of my eyes and the edge of where that blue shadow that I placed down, Blue Lagoon, meets. So it'll kind of be a little bit of a marrying or gradient effect between those matte shades and that shimmer blue shade that I have on the lid. And I'm just going to do this very, very slowly and you know, pat the glitter down and slowly blend it in. This glitter does actually have a dark base to it, so if you were to kind of blend it out, it would leave a little bit of a blackish or very dark residue. So I don't want to really blend a lot, so that's why I'm going to be working slowly and just kind of patting it down and moving it just gently to kind of blend in with the colors that I already have down on the lid. Alright, so here's what things are looking like so far, and then just to save some time, I'm going to kind of speed through my lower lash line, but basically what I'm going to be doing is doing the same exact steps that I did on my you know, upper eyelid, but I'm going to be using a pencil brush. So I'm going to start off with that yellow banana shade, then go into Tiger's Blood, and then go into Black Currant. I'm just going to speed through that real quick. And then lastly, I think I do want to add a little bit of that sparkle to my lower lash line too. So I'm just going to take a touch, like try to do very, very gently with that small brush. Just tap a little bit on here. I don't want very much at all. And then I'm just going to kind of tap it more on the outer corner of my lower lash line to get a little bit of that sparkle to show up. Alright, I am back, and I am actually completely surprised that this look pulled together, but it did. Here's what it's looking like. I used the Pure Cosmetics Bombshell lashes, and then I also went ahead and applied the Ardell Beauty Wanna Get Lucky gel liner in the shade Royal Purple to my waterline. This has kind of been like a go-to liner for me. I feel like I use it in almost every look, so I hope you guys aren't tired of seeing it, but I just love it so much. It's dark enough to where it almost has the depth of using a black liner, but the purple just gives a little bit more like something to the look, especially because I feel like it just brings out the green in my eyes. I think I say this all the time, so I'm sorry for repeating myself, but anyways, I think the look pulled together really, really well. I'm actually really surprised, but I love the way it turned out, and I really hope you guys do too. It's kind of amazing what adding, you know, some brows and the whole rest of your face can do to kind of really pull a look together, at least for my situation, since I'm such a mess with my eyes. For lips, I really wasn't sure what to do with such a colorful eye look. I'm kind of boring when it comes to lips, so I just threw on a gloss. I'm using the sheer gloss in the shade Tinseltown from City Beauty. It's one of their plumping lip glosses, and it's just like a sheer kind of shimmery pink shade. And I know that's super boring, but I don't know, that's just what I feel comfortable with, and I really like the way this look pulled together. But anyways, that is it for this look and this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing these different looks using the Flower Beauty Warrior Glitter shadows. I really hope you guys feel inspired, and please let me know which look was your favorite. But with all that being said, I just want to thank you so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes. Mwah!